How would you like it if all you're trying to do is become a better person, someone gets in your face and says no? It's not a great feeling. In a lot of cases, this is what's happening here. Not all legal immigrants from other countries, mostly Mexico, only come to America to find jobs, to support their families, and take refuge from horrible things that happen in where they live or something. And although there may seem bad things that come from this, all they need is a chance to show why they deserve to be in the United States. First of all, is the history of the Mexican-American border, and that's a very important topic. The border, that used to be Mexico's border right there. It had pretty much all the southern states and Texas and stuff. And at the time, the Mexican-American War was from 1846 to 1848. In 1818, Spain got independence from Spain, so they were kind of a developing country. But the United States thought it would be a perfect chance to bully on them and take Texas. Mexico said no, they stood their ground, and they pretty much had a war. And unfortunately, Mexico lost, and they ended up losing the battle. And they lost Texas, California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Wyoming. And then on, this is kind of a related topic, but on June 12, 1987, Ronald Reagan, which is probably one of his most famous speeches at the Berlin Wall, he said that he noticed writings on the wall, and it said, some young kid put, "This wall will fall, and beliefs will become reality." And he said, yes, across Europe, this wall will fall, for it cannot withstand faith, it cannot withstand truth. The wall cannot withstand freedom. And he says, I've been questioned since I've been here about certain demonstrations against my coming, and I would like to say just one thing to those who demonstrate so. I wonder if they ever ask themselves that if they should have the kind of government they apparently see, no one would ever be able to do what they're doing. And pretty much what he's saying is that if you put a wall between two people who have the same beliefs, everything's going to fail. So, a good man, not really good, named by George W. Bush, 2006, he decided to put up a wall to block off immigrants coming from Mexico. And the president of Mexico even told him, he said it's an awful idea to go ahead with this because it's not going to solve any problems. And now, this is the reason I picked this topic is because there's no child labor laws here, but it's a family business. But I've been working since I was 10 at a pizza shop, and pretty much we hire Mexicans. And they've been like, I don't know, I've been working since I was 10, so like 8 years, and they've been kind of my family growing up. And so that's why I picked this topic, because I can relate to it and stuff. And I've asked them stories about how they've crossed the border. Some of them even had to get surgery because they fell and they gashed open their stomach, and they had to come to America. And they didn't have any insurance, so they had to pay $40,000 for stitching. And so most immigrants, they live the exact same lives that you guys do when they come here. And I mean, this may seem like a stereotype, but it's in fact, according to CIS.org, that most legal immigrant workers, their jobs in America are jobs that nobody really wants to do. Like a maid, farmers, construction workers, taxi drivers, anything, you know. And that's because it's right like your family guy. And this picture really makes me laugh. It says, "Thank you, Jesus, for this food," and then a Mexican named Jesus is the man. She made it. I mean, they really help people out with chores, so to speak, you know, so nobody has to do them. But of course, they get paid under the table, and doesn't really go to the economy. They kind of go from a worse lifestyle to not so worse, but it's still kind of bad compared to like what we go through. I mean, it's good work for them because they go from such a bad place. There's drugs, war, stuff like that, and I have a friend who he's legal. He came to America when he was 2. He went to New York. Came to Lebanon when he was 13. He went through school, did everything, speaks English, Spanish, whatever. And he wanted to go to college, but he couldn't because he doesn't have a citizenship. And the same thing happened about 2 years ago to a woman in New York. She graduated top 10% of her class. And these are just strikes. This one actually right here happened Tuesday during the election. And I Obama's trying to really elaborate on getting Mexicans that are already here, who want to have jobs and who want to go to school. And I think it's unfair to them because they're struggling to succeed, and they're being rejected. And then recently, Obama, he's trying to pass a bill that allows them to go to school as long as they don't have a permanent record of any kind, any criminal record. They can get a permit to go to school for 2 years, and then every 2 years they have to renew it. But as long as they don't have a criminal record, they can stay in America. And of course, if things go good for them, they can end up in high places. These are immigrants from other countries. And I don't know, Anthony Hopkins, he's from Wales. Everybody else is from Canada. He's from Austria. And that's an American who, his family's from Mexico. And he is pretty much proud of both countries when he won the medal that he won. And although there's always good deeds, there's some bad. I'm sure you all know about the illegal drugs and the weapons and the rapes and murders and stuff like that that happen because of the Mexican cartel. They've pretty much ruined the basis on trying to get Mexicans legal in America because they do all that bad stuff. And they kill cops and stuff like that in the southern border. Also, they don't pay taxes, so it kind of hurts the economy. And they take jobs of people who are unemployed. And so, controlling these issues, the economy is a big part of it. But the border that in 2006 George W. Bush put up, it costs taxpayers $90 billion up to this day. And as you can see here, the wall kind of stops, so it's easy to get around it. And then there's like 15-foot tall fences, and then like this little fence right here, anybody can jump over. So there's not really a point to have that there. And also they paid like at least $1 billion to get Mexicans deported from America to Mexico. And as a closing statement, illegal immigrants in this country deserve to be treated like everyone else. They're just average people trying to live a normal life in the United States. They try to live the American dream, as we all do, and they work hard to deserve all the respect that they can get from the people. Oh, and they have mines put up on the border, so if a Mexican tries to go over, they blow up, which is kind of harsh, if you ask me. And so, honestly, that's bad. And that's good.